So I'm gonna jump right in. Just because I talk a lot and I know we have 40 minutes. So we're gonna talk about your goals. So if for the next year, nothing in the world would stop you this next year, like if you had no pain, no obstacles, struggles, what would you want to achieve in your business this year? You're gonna write that down. And feel free to drop it in the chat too. I'd love to see your answers. And I'll let you brainstorm for a few too before I just like move on. Those are good. I like it. I'll give you just a few more moments. Okay, good. Okay, so now, when you see yourself, so say you want to focus on like consistent 4K leader, okay? And then Allie, you have amazing goals, but say you want to focus on like 40K leader, right? When you see yourself achieving that goal, what significance did it make in your life? Like, why is this so important and meaningful to you?
If it's cool, I'm just going to unmute. I think it might be faster than typing it all out.
Yeah.
So being a 40K leader, I see that as stability for myself and my family. And a lot of the goals we have, because my husband and I would go over goals at the beginning of the year of what we want, like what we want to achieve. And a lot of those do have have a stable financial foundation. So that's kind of like the basis of all of it, you know, even when it comes to having another kid, having a stable financial, I guess, yeah, base to work off of, and not just stable, that's actually like really flourishing to me, like in my eyes. So yeah, it's pretty much the foundation of like to make other things possible.
Yeah. Okay. We can get going. Do you want to just talk, Alex?
Yeah, sure. So I'm finishing up my personal training and nutrition certifications, and I can't see myself like doing my day job like far down in the future. So it's probably not gonna happen this year, but my overall goal is to try to get personal training and nutrition coaching full time. Because I just can't see myself down the road like being in the lab.
Okay, so that's still your goal. So tell me though, why does it mean so much to you? Like, yeah, you don't see your job, but like make it deeper than that. Like, why, like, if you hit your goal, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this full time. I'm a personal trainer. Like, I'm coaching these people and changing their lives. Like, why does that matter to you? What's that significance? How has that changed your life?
Uh, I just like my overall thing is I love to help people, and I wish I had that help when I was going through my stuff with my gallbladder a couple of years ago. Like after college, that was like really tough for me, and I had it removed. And then like, society throws all those like restriction diets at you to like try to get back on track, and that's just not the way to go. So, and I see my dad also like struggling right now with his health, and all I want to do is just like be able to help him even more as well. So yeah, overall, I just want to like help as many people as I can without
Yeah,
doing the restriction dieting and all that.
cool.
Yeah.
You already have amazing rules. I'm obsessed.
Thanks.
Okay, so imagine that you accomplish those goals, okay? So you're consistently making 4K, you're a personal trainer and nutrition coach. With Ali, you're 40K, so you have that 40K leader status. What are the 2 to 3 things that you had to do with excellence to make that happen?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So you got your goal.
Yeah.
What are the 2 to 3 things that you have to do with excellence to make that happen?
Okay.
Okay, so in my case, to become a 40K leader, I would have to bring on new team members. So I would have to grow my team, and not just, it necessarily doesn't even have to be that I grow a huge team. It's just that I grow quality people who I can help be successful. So I don't want to say that I'm growing like a huge team, but I'm adding value to other people's lives so that we're building a stable team, I suppose is more of. So recruiting and maintaining, I suppose, would be one of the things, or 1 to 2 of the things. I have to be consistent with, I guess, connecting with new people, because the only way that, any sales position, the only way you can get ahead is to be talking to new people. And I think that already, I like can see where this is kind of going a little bit. And that's maybe a space where I have put to the back burner. I'm very much a list person, and like I even track what I'm doing. And I'll tell you this, when I look at what I'm tracking, I'll notice the same categories that are kind of not getting filled out.
Yeah.
So that staying consistent.
So give me one of those categories. So what's something that you haven't been filling out?
Organizing new followers so that I can chat with them later. So
Okay.
when someone follows me for my content, I want to make sure that I can check in with them, see how they're doing, and connect with them on a personal level.
So how are you going to do that?
There's a couple different ways I could do it. Maybe that's it, is that my organization of how I want to do it. I've tried a couple different ways, and I haven't found one that is like, that I can stick to. I could write them down.
Let's pick away. What's the way you hate the least?
The least is probably saving them in folders on my Instagram, like a saved folder. That's probably the least. I know down the road, I do need to invest in like an email marketing type of platform where I can plug client or potential clients into, and that way their contact information is saved off of social media. And that's like something that I want to get done.
Have you tried Google Streak?
I have Streak. I haven't actually like completely figured it out. Like I haven't like taken an hour to like.
Okay, well, regardless, so you need to pick away. And then when's a great time where you could do this?
My best bet is going to be after my daughter falls asleep or in the morning before she wakes up, because the tediousness when it comes to like logging stuff, that's really a struggle to do with a 2.5-year-old.
Okay, but so now you have a plan. You can make a folder on Instagram and you can do it when your daughter goes to sleep, and you can even let Alex know when you do it this week. If you were my client, I would be holding you accountable, and that's one of the ways we would do it. But
Right.
So, Alex, what about you? What are 2 to 3 things with excellence that you could do?
Mine kind of fall in the same lines of what Allie said. So like for the being consistent 4K leader, I need at least 2 to 3 working promoters under me, and then eventually when I want to go 12K I would need more, but to start just a couple more working promoters to get there. And then I also need to be consistent with my daily tasks and my daily routine. Sometimes I can fall out of my routine, like my skincare routine. I actually just talked about it on my story like a half an hour ago. I just like forget sometimes, and then my face is like super dry and it hurts.
Oh my gosh, that's relatable.
Yeah.
Do you have a way that you track your daily routine?
I don't, but I think I need to start doing that. And I use my notes app all the time for everything on my phone. So there's that easy like bullet point feature on there.
Yeah.
You can just like check off. So I think I need to just start doing that.
Okay. So grow your team, be consistent. What's something else?
One thing that I struggle with is reaching out to people, because I hate doing that.
Okay, so what are 2 or 3 ways you could reach out to people?
I actually just talked to somebody about this the other day, but like just engaging more on social media. So like even just commenting on people's stories, like taking that time to just go through for like even just 5 minutes. I think I just need to like make those initial conversations.
Okay. Is there a time during the day where you could set a timer for 5 minutes to go through those conversations?
Yeah, I think between the time that I stop my day job and then like dinner time, like between that time.
What time is that?
I stop work around 3, so like between 3 and 6 p.m.
Okay, cool. So this week, Allie will expect a message from you by 6 saying that you have reached out and engaged with people.
Sounds good.
Hello, friend Amber. Do you want to talk? I know you haven't been on video. Have you heard everything that we've been discussing?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what are 2 to 3 things that you would have to do with excellence to reach your goals?
Okay, so I was thinking about this. So my goals for this year, if I were to reach my goals for the year.
What is the goal? Give me your number 1 goal.
It would probably be, I want to become a birthing doula and a postpartum doula. So those would be there. And then in accordance with Thrive, in accordance with Thrive, it's not really like, I don't really necessarily need to hit a rank, but it's like, I want to make a certain amount of money within my month.
What amount?
Ideally it'd be probably $3,000 a month is what I want to make.
Okay. So what are 2 things 2 to 3 things you have to do with excellence to make $3,000 a month.
So for me, I think what I would need to do is I need to learn how to transition like a normal conversation to a hey, do you want to buy Thrive kind of conversation, like I can't think of the word right now, but kind of okay, stop. Like the lead in, I guess, just learning how to the transition through a regular conversation to my Thrive conversation and getting them onto the products basically. And then so I need to work on that, and I need to do my certifications to become a doula. So those would be my 2, I guess, that I need to really work on. I have the consistency with reels and my carousels and things like that. I just need to work on the conversation.
Okay, so when's a good time for you to work on those conversations?
So normally I do a lot of my work when this one goes down for her nap in the morning.
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere from like 10 to 1. That's normally when I'm doing all of my work for the
So
day.
what's your goal for the conversations per day? Do you have one?
I haven't really thought like that detailed quite just yet.
Let's think it through. Throw out a number.
Okay, can you go say that again for me, please?
I said, let's just think it through. Throw out a number.
Probably like 2 would be ideal, like realistic and ideal, I guess.
Okay, cool. So this week, every day, talk to 2 people, message whoever your buddy is on here, and let them know you did it, just to hold each other accountable.
Okay.
We're going to keep going. So we've talked about our goals. We've talked about why it's important. We've talked about the 2 to 3 things you would have to do with excellence. If you take each of those 3 things, I've kind of done it with like 1 for each of you, but you then take that down and you say, okay, now let's break that down. So I need to connect with people. What's 2 to 3 ways I can connect with people? And then obviously I've asked y'all to give me a time and a plan to really hone in on that. So another way we can go about this is we've created that goal. And so now you can break it down to, okay, this is simple. So Allie, for 40K a year, what do you need to make per month to be on track to hit that goal? I'm not mathing, so you can do that real quick. And then you have that monthly goal, and you need to know what daily actions do you need to take to reach that goal. So I'll give you a second because that was a mouthful. So what results do you need to create monthly to reach your goal for the year?
Okay. So monthly, I mean, let's get real. I'd have to like play taxes into all this, but like if we're just thinking as a 40K leader, that just means simply that, see, that's tricky because the results could vary every month. But if
so pick the higher one and aim for it.
Right. So I'm looking at like 5,000 a month if I'm where I want to be.
Okay. Does that scare you a little?
Uh-huh.
Good. That's a good goal then.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of the hashtags that like my certification has is hashtag let's puke together. And that's if your goals make you a little scary, then you're on track.
That's awesome.
But it's also why
like
I'm
some
called
sort
a
of
push
COVID
coach,
man.
because I'm holding you accountable and pushing you to goals that kind of make you want to puke.
Yeah.
So we're on the right track. So 5K a month. So what results do you need to create? And I know we're talking, but I hope you're writing like what specifically do I need to do each month to make that happen. So same for you, Alex. So to reach your goal, write down what you need to do monthly, and Amber as well. And then you're going to break that down even more. So now you have monthly. So now it's what do I need to do weekly? And then what do I need to do daily? So I'll give you a few minutes to kind of think about that.
Well, and if we're thinking monetarily, technically it would be like 1,200 a week.
Right. But like you also have to think, what are my actions now? So how am I going to make $1,200 a week? How many conversations do I need to be having? How many team members do I need to be inviting? Like get very specific.
Okay.
So you're going to do that for weekly and you're going to do it then for daily. For example, Amber, I asked you how many conversations are you going to have a day? You said 2. Like, but if 2 doesn't reach you to your goal, then maybe it's 3. Like, it just depends on what your goal is and what you're willing to push yourself to. Isn't this so fun though? This gets me so hyped, y'all.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I look at this and I try to break it down, the numbers do feel still a little overwhelming to me just with the allotted time I have. But I also think that sometimes I I don't know. There's times when maybe I should be focusing more when Riley is sleeping or something like that. And I need to get it done.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it's doable once you write it down, even if it's scary.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I'm looking at I'm just honestly kind of fluffing a couple of these numbers here, but it's looking like connecting or talking to at least 14 new people a day. And that's a little overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
To get the results I want. Now, is it going to be worth having the results I want? Yeah, that's,
What do you think though? Like, is that worth it to you, getting out of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Because you have to also think of like why this matters, like what that significant is. Like if you pushed yourself to talk to that like 14 people or whatever a day, like also practice makes perfect. So Amber, when you were talking about transitions, the only way you'll get good at that is by practicing. So if you're talking to these 14 people, like who cares if they say no, or yes, like you don't know. Either way, like who cares? Because your goal is financial stability. It is to have that baby. It is to change your family's life. It is to make a difference and impact people for the better. So like when your significance is that big of a deal, like this is going to change my family's whole life. Like, okay, fine. I can talk to 14 people. Like this isn't going to stop me because this is what's going to change in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it definitely makes sense. I think that it's a huge leap of getting out of our comfort zone and instead of just sitting on the couch when Riley naps or just doing one thing, I can be like multitasking like I always ever do anyways.
Yeah.
I can sit on the couch and
it's a matter of, who I already forgot which one of you was talking about engagement, but it's a matter of like, okay, I'm watching a show, but I can also set a timer for 5 minutes and engage while that show's on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to be an either or, it can be an and. Like I can create the life of my dreams and still watch Netflix sometimes. Like it doesn't have to be an either or.
Yeah.
Now, so you break it down monthly, weekly, and then daily. So those daily actions, Alex, can be put on a daily tracker.
Yes.
To keep you consistent every day. This is what I have to do. So if you're my client, I have a tracker that I personally use. So I give it to you. I have 2 ways to work with me. So one is in a small group and one is with private sessions. So in the small group, I give you guys my tracker. You can personalize it to your needs. But I just give you my basic tracker. If you're my client, and it's a private sessions too, in the private sessions, I would go along with you because it's definitely more in depth and we would really hash out a personal tracker just for you. But the basics of my tracker, which I'm just going to go ahead and share real quick because I feel like it's important, is there has to be a balance. So I start every day thinking about myself. And it's kind of like put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then you help others. It's the same gist. So when I wake up, I say I think about myself. Actually, when I wake up, my first thought is, okay, Jesus first. And that's when I try to read the Bible first and pray. And I would also suggest, if praying's not your thing, to have a time of meditation because it's really important to have that reflection. I also really think movement's a big deal. So Jesus, movement, and personal growth. Those are things that I make sure are a big deal. And then reviewing my vision. So going over the goals and going over why that's important. Agree. Is really important. So I have the inner portion that I do before anything. That's just first to make sure that I am in the right mindset to help people. And then I have my business building activities. So the things that you're going through and you're like, those need to be my daily actions. I have specific things daily that I want to do. And so that's in my business part. And then the point of this is to create the life of your dreams. So I don't believe in sitting here and working hours upon hours. I fully believe that if you work with focus and intention, you can work for a few hours and then go live your life. So the last part of my tracker is to do like a self-care activity, whether that's going for a walk, taking a bath. I like to take a nap with a candle lit, which is weird, but makes me feel luxurious. And like going and hanging out with your friends. Like you need to live your life, move on. So I think there needs to be a balance. So that is kind of how my tracker flows. I just have specific activities. And so that's something that you guys can do whenever you're like daily actions. This is what I need to do. And then track those. One thing I also want you to think about is what is something that is holding you back from achieving that goal? And how can you overcome it before it even becomes a thing? And I'm not going to sit here and give you a ton of time because it's going to kick us out soon. Is there something, so I wanted to do a quick hot seat. We'll see if we can do it real quick, but is there something specific that someone is struggling with? One of you.
Just, I guess, balancing being home with my toddler and being able to intentionally spend time on work stuff.
Okay, can you give me an example?
So today my toddler just wanted to go over the ABCs 10,000 times, and I tried my very best to give her my full attention when I'm like, trying to do that. And then I tried to take some time to get some tasks done that I need to get done for the business. And she literally has learned how to say, "Mommy, put your phone down." And that like really pisses me off that she knows how to say that. Because.
So what was the thought that what was running through your mind as that was happening?
Oh, I put my phone down. I was like, well, I clearly can't work on work today.
Why? What were you thinking?
I was thinking that I can't do both.
Okay. Go deeper. Why?
I don't know if No, I just don't. It's overwhelming.
Okay.
I feel like I can't juggle like taking care of her full time and being an attentive mom.
Okay. So the fact is, time management is difficult.
Yeah.
The story you're telling yourself is I can't juggle being a mom and running my business.
Right.
It's causing you to feel very overwhelmed. But is there a different feeling that you're feeling right now when you think about that?
Well, because then I think that relates, it like trickles down. It makes me feel overwhelmed in the sense of everything else too. Like, oh, I don't have time for work. So now if I'm trying to push time for work, now it's taking up time with my husband, and or it's taking up time with housework, or it's taking up time with something else. It's like something's got to give. And I feel like maybe like it can't be the business, because I'm like, so I absolutely love what I'm doing. I'm just not finding the sweet spot. And it's been, I've been home maybe 5 months now. So it's been like, the transition has been extremely hard, and I still haven't found the right balance. It's someone ends up getting let down. Is it my business, or is
Well,
it my
take me
daughter?
to that moment though. Say in that moment when you're feeling like you're letting someone down, like what are you feeling?
I feel like I'm just shit. Like I'm not strong enough. Like other people seem to know how to do it, and I'm just not getting it done. I don't know.
Okay. And then what actions are you taking or not taking?
Oh, I 100% choose my daughter over everything. So that happens. Then if she does take a nap, let's say like today she took a nap, I think I was so like just irritated that I ended up watching, what is it, that one Gwyneth Paltrow goop thing on Netflix. I just wanted my mind not to be anywhere. And I did get a little bit of work done. Like I tried to cram in some things real quick, but it was almost like I just almost deflected what I should have been doing.
So we call that buffering. It's when you're supposed to be doing specific activities, but instead you're watching TV or you're scrolling or you're buffering. So the fact is you still want to learn how to manage your time. The story you're telling yourself is that you like just can't balance it, that you feel like other people are doing it, but you're not. And then it causes you to feel like shit. And then it causes you to buffer. So then you're really not accomplishing things. So can you see how then you're manifesting actually not getting that business done? Like you're not able to handle it because it's going in this huge circle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have a cute little picture that shows this, but I forgot to download it. So basically that's our old voice. So if you had to say that these thoughts and feelings was rooted in a feeling of, let's see, whether it's fear, doubt, failure, judgment, shame, that's your head voice, okay? So it's rooted in scarcity, it's rooted in past judgment. And honestly, it sums it up. It just makes you feel like shit. So we are going to create a new story for you. So the fact is the same. You're still wanting to balance your time. But how, when that is happening, like when you're feeling like, okay, you need to balance this, what is something you would tell like Alex if she was having trouble balancing her time, but you wanted to give her something to encourage her that was rooted in abundance, so rooted in her potential and her purpose and in her strength? What would you, even your daughter, what would you say to them?
Probably that time is something made up and you're creating arbitrary expectations for a made up idea.
You're putting unnecessary expectations on yourself. Wow. What else would you say?
You could probably wake up earlier.
Okay. So that's an action. So what would you say to your capabilities? Like your purpose?
what would I say to my, like, I'm sorry.
I know this is hard. I wish I had this to share. So the fact is you still want to manage your time.
Mhm.
So if you're coming through this, you're in a moment where you're trying to balance and you're feeling overwhelmed, what would you say to someone experiencing that when it comes to like your purpose or strength? Like, you're not failing. What are you, what is something from love that you can come and think about?
That, I mean, I am a great mom, and I do love work. Like, I do love the work that we do, and the fact that we get to help people. Like, I love helping people. And if I don't know, maybe I need to be asking for more help. Yeah. Like, maybe someone could watch my kid.
Yeah. Okay. So the fact is you still want to manage your time. The story that you're telling yourself now is, you know, it's about to kick us off.
It
Can we
is.
jump back on?
We can.
Okay.
It's gonna try and, because I'm recording,
Oh yeah.
so it's gonna probably try and load, but I think I can hop on a new one.
Okay.
Here, let me try this first if you want, and then if it doesn't let us get back in, Alex, and you can communicate on, or I'll just open up a different one if it lets me.
Okay.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Chat real quick. So the news story is like time. You're putting this unnecessary limit on yourself. That's not a real thing. So you really do have this. You're a good mom. So that's the news story. And that's rooted in like love and in abundance. And the actions, how does that, like knowing that, how does that make you feel?
I mean, knowing